Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Life Multiplied podcast. Today, I have two guests, which this is a little different. I haven't done two people virtually yet, so this is fun. But would you two like to go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Yeah, of course. Aelsa, do you want to go first or do you mind?
You go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Hi everyone who's listening. My name is Kiyana Meiron and I am the owner of Playsynthesis. And Playsynthesis is an indoor play space here in Bloomington. And we are still fairly new, finally hit our 6 month mark. So we've been, learning a lot of things and, adjusting as we go. But yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'm Aelsa. I own Aelsa Socials and the Village Collective. So mostly what I do is I call it marketing that makes friends. So we do social media marketing, we do social strategy and marketing events. So that could be networking, it could be events like the Mother's Market that we'll be talking about today, just fostering collaboration and marketing in ways that connect people to people.
Awesome. Thank you both for sharing. And then if you are a listener of this podcast, they have both been on the podcast before individually. So if you have not listened to their episodes, feel free to go and check them out. But let's just dive in. So I'm kind of just going to let you know who I'm asking this question to, just so you two don't get too confused. And then if you do also want to feed off each other, go for it. So we will start with Aelsa. Last time you were on the podcast, you mentioned the idea of a mom's co-op, and that was just kind of fresh and newly getting started. You were kind of trying to put all of that together. Can you share how that vision has evolved into what is now the Village Collective? Which is that pretty new as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I know it's kind of new, though.
Yeah. So it was kind of funny because I was brainstorming this actually one of the times I was at Playsynthesis with Kiyana. Sorry, I'm going to take this one out. It always falls out. So I was like, I don't know why people are not coming to this co-op. Everyone said they wanted it. And then when it came down to it, I just wasn't finding the people to show up to our events. And so I was just kind of talking out loud. And I was like, what if we had like a marketing network, a free marketing network where you had mom-owned businesses who would support each other through free marketing opportunities? And then what if we had these get-togethers, these like with a playroom monitor, what if we hosted that here at Playsynthesis and we kind of switched it up a little bit so that I wasn't on the hook for a babysitter, and like just kind of like talking this out loud with Kiyana. And so then the Village Collective kind of became born out of that, just as a realization that, well, what I originally wanted wasn't working, but the fundamental need is still there, which is community for moms, networking for moms, whether you own your own company, whether you work for someone else, whether you work from home, whether you work in family administration, right? That stay-at-home mom life. You need connection with other women, and that's what we're here to provide.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So now that the Village Collective has a website, I did check that out. How has that digital presence changed how you're able to connect with the community? And then what new opportunities has the website opened up?
So the website came about almost like as a platform on which to platform these women that I was connecting with. So
Okay.
the idea of a free marketing network, we kind of needed that hub for a directory, somewhere to post it. But I found that fundamentally, like, the website has done pretty well, but the reason it's doing well is because of the in-person connections that we've been really intentional about making. So all of the women who are listed on there are a couple of people I still haven't met in real life, but the only reason that those people are there is because they know people who I've met in real life. And so it's really just like a reflection of that in-person community that we've been working on building.
Okay, awesome. And so you did say, just let me get this straight. So
Yeah.
the Village Collective is like you and Kiyana with Playsynthesis, you are collaborating together.
Right. Yeah.
Correct. Okay.
So the Village Collective overall is a collaboration between a lot of different mom-owned businesses.
Sure, yes.
So I own the brand, but yeah, we collaborate with really any mom-owned business. What Kiyana and I specifically are working on is the Mother's Market, which is a collaboration. Yeah.
Of the Village Collective.
And we will get into that. So, Kiyana, can you share with us a little bit about Playsynthesis? Again, I know that we've touched on this, but how has it been doing since it opened?
Yeah.
And what has been the biggest challenge for you?
Yeah. So, Playsynthesis is
that as well.
Yeah. So Playsynthesis, I feel like it's been doing very well. Like I said, we finally reached our first 6 months, and I know everybody that I talk to who owns business, they always say your first year or two is always your hardest, because obviously, you have a vision, and then you finally created this, and you just start learning to what exactly does the community need, like who is your clientele and whatnot. So I feel like it's doing really well. I'm really loving like the growth and how we have like created a small community of moms and dads that just looking for a safe haven just to have like a little break. And I think the most challenging part is right now is like marketing, because even now I still have a lot of people that would say, oh, I've never been here before, or like, oh yeah, I literally just Googled something to do today and your business came up. So, and I'm not like the best on like social media and stuff, but yeah, I feel like marketing, because I never know how often or where to post it and stuff. But yeah, I think it's just like, but really the best thing is just word of mouth. And just like Aelsa mentioned earlier, like just, moms heard another mom. So I think it's just with time, like hopefully we just start growing more, but it's been doing pretty good. I'm loving the growth and how we've created a small community.
Glad to hear it's going well. That's exciting.
Yeah.
So what do you think has been the most rewarding aspect of Playsynthesis? With the aspect of seeing it evolve as a business, and any standout moments that make you feel like, yes, this is working?
Yeah. So I would say the biggest success so far would be collaborations with other like local family related businesses and organizations. So that's been like really great. Even if it's just like hosting an event for their organization, or hosting a play date. OSF, Moms of Beautiful Babies, they come to Playsynthesis every Wednesday. And so it's like sponsored by the hospital. So it's free for moms who sign up for the Facebook group. And, but yeah, I would say that's been like the biggest part is collaborating. And of course, I'm talking to more other local organizations and like what ways can we collaborate. So I really like the collaboration part. And one thing that I would say the yes moment would be like the small little moments that I encounter like on my everyday being there.
Sure.
Even if it's just like, a mom and a dad came just recently and they was like kind of whispering to each other and they would like, oh man, I can get used to this, and they were like, what do you mean? And it's like, just sitting down on the couch and just chilling out, and I was like, yes, like that's exactly why I create Playsynthesis is just to really create a space, like safe space for parents, to relax and hang out with their kids if they choose to, but also toys and equipment that like the kids like to play with and for them to have fun as well. But yeah,
I would say definitely with collaboration, and even I've found this in myself, just it really does help with getting like word of mouth out, like
for
that
sure.
type of marketing, because you're getting the chance to work with so many different individuals. So I think the collaboration is a great idea. So
yeah, and I feel like it's been great too, because it's not just like with old businesses or like business that has been around for a while. I'm also helping other businesses that's kind of starting, so we both just kind of help each other out, like, hey, I'm new in town, or like, hey, I'm creating this mom educational group and things like that. So it's been really great, like helping each other out.
No, that's awesome. So let's dive into then the upcoming Mother's Market. What was the inspiration behind that, and then behind hosting this event, and how does it connect to the larger mission of kind of how both of you run your businesses?
Yeah, I feel like Elsa should answer this question because
Okay.
she's like the mastermind of Mother's Market. And I'm
Sure.
just, yeah, like, yes, that sounds like a great idea. Whatever you want to do, let's do it. But yeah, I think she should do this one.
Go for it.
So one of the things that the Village Collective wants to do, which I say, and it sounds kind of silly because it's kind of me, but one of the goals of the idea of it is that the Village Collective as a group of women can support the other women, the other mothers who are in it. And so whatever that looks like might vary from time to time. But one of the things that Kiyana is passionate about there in her space is hosting events.
Sure.
And so this was an opportunity that I saw to support other mother-owned businesses the week before Mother's Day. And then also Kiyana to get hopefully more community members in her doors, community members who have children, hopefully, who can play there. But then also those other mom-owned businesses having that little shop set up there at her place of business. So it was just kind of like, how can we get as many, how can we support as many moms as possible in one day? And that's kind of how the idea was born.
Awesome. So what can people expect from the Mother's Market? Just can you kind of give us maybe if you have some names of vendors or like just like the vision of how it's going to work?
Yeah, so far we have 7 out of our 8 spots filled.
Nice.
And we have like I said, it's all mom-owned businesses, and there are like local or from the surrounding Bloomington Normal area. And so I think what to expect is just kind of like an open house day. And if you have kids, highly encouraged, because then you could hey, go play, and then the moms and dads can shop around. But really, especially to shop for Mother's Day, like it's a week before Mother's Day. So my side is providing that space, for the kids to come play while the parents are shopping and supporting local businesses. And then for, with Aelsa is just kind of hopefully, again, like the collaboration, the village helping each other. So it's like, other moms meeting other moms and other businesses. So, yeah, that's
So
kind of
what
the goal.
so what kind of vendors can people expect? Like can you have some names you want to share or maybe some items that will be sold there if you know?
Yeah, so Kiana and I, what we did was we accepted a bunch of different applications, and then we kind of went through and made sure, because we only had the 8 spots available, that anyone represented didn't have someone who was like a direct competitor with them. And then we like also specifically recruited some people. Like we went, at least for me, like I went out and did some searches online and on Instagram to try to find specific groups to invite, because what can tend to happen around Mother's Day is that like 4 days before Mother's Day, you get on Amazon and you Google gifts for Mother's Day. And then it's just like all of these very basic,
Sure.
cheaply made stuff, right? So what we wanted to do was create kind of like a curated shopping experience. So it's like a vendor show, yes. It's like a craft show, yes. But anything that you get there is like mom approved. Like if you were to shop at any of these booths, speaking as a mom myself and Kiana is a mom herself, like when we were working with each of the vendors to choose who was going to be there and what they were going to sell, to make sure that it's something that moms would actually want. But some of the folks that we're going to have there, Mackenzie Beer is a very well-known name. She is a doula. She's going to have baskets of like postpartum care and tallow. I'm not exactly sure all what's going to go into those baskets, but she's got those giftable baskets. We have Lexi Atkinson Hair. So Lexi owns a hair studio in town, and it's a family-friendly, baby-proof studio, so you can bring your child in there while you get your hair done. She's going to put together some like salon self-care baskets, throwing some coupons for discounts off her services as well. And then we've got some handicrafts. We've got someone coming from Washington who does permanent jewelry. And we've got someone, her business name is called Vanilla Flowers, and she makes these gorgeous flower arrangements out of like chenille stems, so they last for long periods of time. So those are just kind of like a sampling of some of the people who are going to be there.
Yeah. So if somebody were, do you need to register for this, or is this, you said this is just open house, come in whenever you want? Okay.
Yeah,
And
so
then-
the idea is to for that day I'm going to the only admission you have is if you're bringing a child.
Okay.
But I am going to kind of, because usually it's, per admission you get 2 free adults to come with you, but for this day I would say up to probably 4 adults per admission, just to kind of get people in the door. So the only thing that you have to worry about is if you're bringing your kids. But yeah, even if you don't have kids and you want to shop for the mothers in your life, I highly encourage to just come and check it out, and like I said, treat it kind of like an open house unless you're bringing kids. But yeah,
And then what is the date and time for this?
May 3rd.
May 3rd. Okay.
Yeah, and it would be open from 9
to
to noon.
9 to noon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully this is a success and it's something that you both can do like year after year, and maybe it'll become some huge event that everybody wants to go to. So
Yeah.
We're
I hope
hoping.
We're all excited for it.
yes. So would you two like to share anything else on behalf of either one of your businesses or just the market in general?
No, I don't think so. But I just want to say, if there are people who were listening from the previous episode, thank you for supporting us, and yeah.
Cool.
The only thing that I would have to say, a lot of times our marketing hits other moms. I'm hoping that there are dads listening to this, because dads, this is a great opportunity for you to tell your wife, hey, take a Saturday morning off, you stay home, sleep in, I've got the kids, and then you can take them, you can go shopping for Mother's Day, they can, like, with them, you can help them choose, they can play, and you don't have to hear, I'm bored. Like, it's just, get the most out of it. Bless the mom in your life, and shop for all the moms in your life with your kids.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that you two have both kind of answered this question in your previous podcast, but what do you love about the Bloomington Normal community?
I love probably like the close-knit community that Bloomington Normal has, and my favorite thing is like on Facebook, all the Facebook groups of like just moms, dads, and parenting in general, and I feel like everyone is so ready to help each other. Like if you see someone, hey, I need help with this and that, like, hey, there's like 10 people that's on it. And I feel like that's like the best part of like Bloomington Normal is just, everybody's so ready to help each other, and everybody's building, help each other. So yeah, it's just really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, I affirm that a lot. And I think that, like we've been talking about a lot in this episode of, collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so many small businesses, some that have been around for a long time, and some, like Kiyana said, that are kind of starting up at the same time as we are, who, like, we just are able to pour into each other and benefit from each other and work together in such a way that I think it's only possible because of all the community resources that we have, whether that's the chamber, whether that's all the Facebook groups. There's no way to avoid other business owners in our community. They're everywhere, and it makes collaboration not only possible, but like worth it and fruitful.
And it never hurts just reaching out and asking, even if they do say no, like, but again, I say this in so many podcasts where I'm like, this community is very supportive, especially entrepreneurs, small businesses. I feel like we as a community do a pretty good job at that. So
I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what are your go-to places in town? You two want to share?
Playsynthesis. You can find me and my daughter there all the time.
Okay.
Playsynthesis and 2810 Cafe. Not gonna lie, we're those two places we're there a lot.
What is the cafe? I've never heard of that.
2810 Cafe is like for older kids. It's associated with the Apostolic Pentecostal Church on the south side of town. They've got like an old donated play equipment there, like from a McDonald's or something, but bigger.
Cool.
So yeah, but it's better for older kids. It's not the same thing as play synthesis. It's a
Okay,
little
sure.
different. But yeah.
Okay, cool.
I would say just like the restaurants around here, like we like to go to Monocle's, we like also Pop Up Chicken, and then the new sushi, revolving sushi.
Oh yes, very
so yeah, we love that.
Okay. Well, thank you to the two of you for coming on and sharing about this upcoming event. Again, anything else you'd like to share before we come to an end?
So we hope to see you there.
Yeah, hopefully we see you on May 3rd, 9 to 12. Shop for the mothers in your life.
Okay, awesome. And then, yes, I will be sure to post both of you. Do you have it listed on your websites, like both of you, the market?
Yeah, we have it on both of our social media and on our websites too.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll be sure to
Thank you
share
so
that.
much, Courtney.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you two taking the time.